So, with the launch of the film Baby Reindeer or series, I thought it would be good now to talk about my own experience of stalking. There's been a number of them, but this one particular one, I can't really remember how it started. I don't even remember. But from what I can gather, somewhere around 2018, I was coming back, probably on public transport, and I bumped into this very strange girl. I believe she was on YouTube. She has a YouTube channel, and she probably comes from the East Midlands or down that way somewhere. Anyway, I'm piecing together from what later I find she's supposedly posted, but I assume we sat and chatted somewhere. I get the impression she was distressed. I think she was catching a flight somewhere, so I think she was worried that she was going to miss it. Anyway, but probably because this is how I operate as a kind person, we probably chatted. And normally I like to have a selfie with someone. Normally I'll share them a biscuit or something. And we probably chatted about everything. I probably gave way too much personal information. Probably gave access to my Facebook pages in my hunt for followers, because I'm always after new followers who like my work. And from what I can probably guess, I probably suggested we meet up in the future for a coffee or something in the town near my auntie's, which I occasionally visit. I probably wished happy birthday or Merry Christmas at some point, and I honestly don't remember whether she replied, but at one point I believe I was on her friends list and we liked each other's posts. But then again, that could be said for a number of people, and I don't just mean girls. I befriend anybody. Middle-aged men, older people, younger people, disabled. Anybody's a friend when you're out and about. Anyway, I assume sometime during 2019, maybe this all kicked off. I started getting messages from her, and she was convinced that I was in love with her, and she wanted nothing to do with me, and then she just carried on sending these messages, and I'm thinking, she's way too young for me. She looks vulnerable. She looked like she had an anorexic food problem or something. Anyway, I just didn't have any feelings for her. I was more concerned, from what I can gather. And then she invented all these other profiles. I was getting messages from people pretending to be her mum, her sister. She invented a boyfriend, a number of work colleagues, and all these profiles are interacting without me even doing anything. And it started off on Facebook, and then it moved to Instagram. And then I don't know whether it was her or someone else, but people started poaching photographs. And that's where it got a bit tricky. Anyway, as time goes on, I realised she knew where I lived. She started contacting my friends and my family. The fact that I knew that she knew my address, I got a screenshot of my own front window, and you'd have to really know where my front window is in my property to know where it is. And I did worry, because there's a lot of crime in my local town, and I believe she may have travelled up or sent other people. I think at one point, potentially, I had two stalkers, maybe operating completely separately, or maybe they met online, or maybe it was just random. Because then I started receiving photographs of me at random stations, talking to people, again, of different ages and different locations around the country. And I thought, this is private investigator stuff, this. And I thought, is this all in my mind? Anyway, unfortunately then, I started getting harassed by the powers that be. And on a number of occasions, I thought, I don't really want to get involved with these people, because last time they accused me of going on buses and giving out free haircuts to people. And another time they believed that a paid worker had been assaulted by me, and it wasn't, it was the other way around, and that paid worker then lost their job. And in the last few years has gone really downhill. Doesn't speak to his parents, and just goes out drinking most of the time. He's not employed by anyone. But the gist of it is, I ended up having to have an interview. It was very, very nasty. I wasn't allowed to have any contact with my people that are in charge of me, or look after my best interests. And I was still shocked that this girl's obsession had developed, that she assumed that I was madly in love with her and following her. And it was only when the powers that be gave me a name, I remembered the name, and then I googled and realised she'd actually set up a number of stories about me. Meeting at random stations, trains, photography, and she accused me of contacting all her friends and family. Thing is, I still didn't know who all these were. Anyway, I took advice off a friend who is very much connected with the law, and he suggested he look around, and he found out that she'd set up a fake company called Bulb Club or Bulb Share or something, and that she was a failed journalist, probably looking for stories. And then he discovered that around the same time she'd made a post about how I'd taken advantage of her, supposedly, she then accused another poor bloke of stalking her in a pub and lacing her drink with something, to the point where she passed out for days and yet again, by the looks of it, missed a flight because people started to look for her. And I haven't got a clue where this fella lives or whoever it was, but I do feel that there'll be stories online from this woman. And I won't name her. She's named me all over the place, and I may put it in the title of the video somewhere, because obviously she decided I was her baby reindeer. More like a bloody buffalo in my case. But it wasn't a very nasty, it was a very nasty experience, and I still don't know to this day whether she's still following me. I still get a number of profile requests from people claiming to be madly in love with me, or claiming that I'm madly in love with them. I'm not into all that. I'm a friendship guy. I go out, I photograph trains, street photography, animals, anything really. Then I'll share them and print them with people. I make no profit. I go to a number of groups around the country, and I really love travel. And I've made some really good friends on public transport, whether it be buses, trains, maybe not planes. But by default, I have become friends with a couple of air hostesses and an air hostess man over the years. And it just needs to be put out there that it's not always the supposed creepy older single bloke with the rain mac on. It can be that dolly bird, if that's the right phrase, or young, what's that, Generation X thing with all the makeup on, the little paddy case. Sometimes it can be the complete other way round. And I really do hope this woman got herself help, or girl. I'm really not sure what age she was. But I just showed no interest in chasing it up. But I thought, with this baby reindeer film coming out, it was handy. And I still wonder whether there's other people out there stalking me or pretending to be me. It really gets me. And this all is due to the online world. I really felt for the guy in the film. I know he was a little bit more complex, but the way his phone beeped and his email account beeped and she found stuff out about him, that's exactly how my stalker went about getting information from me. And I honestly still haven't got a clue where she lives. I don't know whether she's even used her real name. I don't know whether any of the characters in her online profiles are real. I don't know whether she has a job. But she really should seek help, like Martha, out of the baby reindeer, because she's going to cause someone a lot of problems. And she nearly caused me a lot of problems. She did. But luckily, I had an evidence and a backup support network to help me out of that. Otherwise, I would have really ended up in a mess. But I think that's enough on this anyway now. I might make a couple more videos with my George Galloway hat on. But this was fun talking. Thanks for listening.